What's up, mighty and powerful people? I am making this video to work on explaining crypto arbitrage. I know a lot of you are trying to learn how to arbitrage in general, so I just would like to talk about that and what that takes, because it's not necessarily that it takes a lot of work, but it takes a lot of time, a lot of research mainly, because arbitrage essentially is buying. You buy low and you sell high. That is arbitrage. Anything. If you buy a house, if you buy shoes, if you buy jewelry, whatever it is, you want to buy low and sell high. That's the name of the game. That's arbitrage. If you're going yard sailing, you find something that you think you could buy it for $5, $5, $10, $20, $30, and then you could flip it for $100. Whatever, right? Whatever your goals are. That's essentially what arbitrage is. All right. So with crypto arbitrage, you have to buy and sell cryptocurrency assets, right? And whether that's coins, tokens, and then you have network. So coins are the network, right? So network, I'm talking XRP, XLM, Ethereum, BNB, Hbar, whatever parent token, that's the parent, is responsible for that network. So like XRP secures the XRP ledger. And then a token is a child asset that's created on the XRP ledger in this example. So the parent would be XRP, and then a child asset would be something like Xoge. All right. So in order to arbitrage and to get more XRP, if that's your goal, you would want to buy Xoge at a low price and then sell it at a higher price back into XRP. So you would have XRP, you sell XRP for Xoge, and then you sell Xoge for XRP. And then so you keep, if you do that over and over and over again successfully, then as an end result, you'll have more XRP and possibly even more Xoge, because you're stacking up on both sides, right? Like if you come to find an asset and trade it, you're not going to want to get rid of it all if it's working for you, right? So keep that in mind as I talk about what we're about to talk about. Because in order to crypto arbitrage, you're going to need to do this with multiple assets, and also the more time you put into this, the more you're able to do it across multiple chains. So what I mean by that is you have all of these centralized exchanges, and these are Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance, Qcoin, etc., etc. Like all of the ones that own your assets because they own your crypto. This is the perfect example of not your keys, not your crypto, because it's on a centralized exchange. So ultimately they own your assets, kind of like with FTX. What happened with FTX? We put FTX in here too. So if you have an account at any one of these, right? Any one of these central exchanges, you can buy and sell a plethora of assets. So you can crypto arbitrage in just one of these exchanges if you want. But the problem with this is you don't own your keys, so you don't own your crypto, and therefore you're susceptible to the risk that comes from keeping your assets on a non-custodial in a custodial wallet. So these are, they have your keys, they own your crypto, they're custodial of your assets, so they can essentially lose your assets. And most of the time, you get nothing in return, as we've seen in the past. All right, so on to my next one. Now, as you learn and go down this path of decentralized finance, you come across decentralized exchanges. And this is essentially your keys. So you own your keys right here. If you own your keys to your wallet and you're on the network, you're in a non-custodial environment where you own your keys, therefore you own your crypto. If you lose your keys or you are completely responsible for your keys and your assets. That's decentralized. Now from here, this would be XRP. Well, sorry, the XRP ledger. And then you have the XLM network. You have the XDC network. You have the Hedera Hashgraph and Hbar. You have Algorand. You have Binance Smart Chain, which would be the Binance network, BNB. You have Iota. You have Fantom. You have Matic. I'm running out of space. You have Cardano. You have Cspr. See, these are all decentralized networks. And then you also have Avax. And when you have your keys and your wallet with assets on these networks, then you are able to leverage the true utility of these networks, right? So if you're just holding on to XRP or XLM or XDC in your centralized exchange wallet, then you're not really tapping into the utility that you're investing in. You're just kind of investing in it because you've heard governments or companies are going to be using it, right? But you as an investor, as a person in this world, are not actually getting the utility out of it until you come to the decentralized exchanges where you own your keys, you own your crypto, you are able to leverage the utility that comes from all of these networks to create your portfolio, build your portfolio, right? And so by doing that, you unlock so much more potential. You can earn more Algo just by having Algo in your decentralized wallet, like a para wallet, instead of having it on an exchange. You can earn BNB and whatever child asset you have in a liquidity pool just by holding on to the assets. You can do that with so many of these things, right? Like you can pair your XRP or the Xrpl tokens with other coins to do something that's called soft staking. You can do so much. There is a lot. There are many. Let me just write this real quick. You have LPs, or so liquidity pools, where you essentially create the opportunity for people to swap, right? So if you're swapping from Algorand to Xoge, right? If you go from Algo to Xoge, or back, right? You're doing that through a liquidity pool because it's a decentralized network and they do liquidity pools. But for instance, if you go from XRP to Xoge or back, then you're doing that through the order books because they have order books inherently built into the XRP ledger, and you're creating orders. So there's people that have buy and sell orders, and then they buy or sell at the market or with limit orders, and that's how the XRP ledger conducts business, right? So each network, this is just two examples, they do different things, different ways to utilize your assets. Now, this is the beautiful part. Crypto arbitrage in the multi-chain, right? So you have the centralized exchanges, and then you have the DEX, right? So with centralized exchanges, each exchange has a whole bunch of assets, and they have a bunch of different assets. Like on one exchange, you can find XRP, XLM, Cardano, Iota, Binance. The list goes on, right? Every token that we're talking about over in the decentralized, you can find it, right? You can find them, but once you go into the DEX, then you for the most part only have each one individually. So like XRP is only on the XRP ledger. Now they are creating ways to bridge them and all that other stuff, but let's just stick to the basics. Matic is on Matic, BNB is on Binance Smart Chain, ADA is on Cardano, Iota is on Shimmer or Iota, XLM is on the XLM network, and XRP is on the XRP ledger, all right? And then so from there, on the DEX, they have parent and child. So this is back to where we started, right? Parent would be, in this case, XRP, Algo, etc. Now, I know I'm getting very repetitive, but it's important because of proprioception. We're wrapping our head around what we're doing in the first place, because if we don't understand what we're doing, then it just makes it harder to take action. And then once we realize what's going on, we could take action, right? So you have the parent, which is the network that you're ultimately wanting to invest in the first place. Most of you hold XRP or XLM, Cardano, but in order to invest and grow that, right, you're going to want to invest in the child, because if you, now you can arbitrage back into fiat, but if you go from XRP to USD, like fiat, the paper, right, like back to your bank, and then back into XRP, well, ultimately over time, USD, which is supposed to be stable, is inflating, so it's not stable. Just inherently, it inflates, so it's not stable. And because of that, you're losing purchasing power, right? So most of you who aren't investing in the XRPL tokens are just going back into the bank. And as much as that's fine and dandy, you're losing purchasing power and you're losing to inflation. So instead, you have other options. You can go to the child layer. And on the child layer, you can invest in assets like Xoge. So then you can arbitrage into Xoge and back into XRP. So that's crypto arbitrage right there, right? And Xoge is deflating, so it's increasing in your purchasing power ultimately, because as the asset deflates and over time more people invest in it and the decentralized community gets bigger, then it's just going to go, the price is going to continue to appreciate up and to the left. I hope that all made sense, and we are ready to move on to the next part, because you have a decentralized community. All right, there's a bunch of communities out there. Each one has a decentralized community, and they essentially master the networks that they're on, because, well, that's what they're doing, right? They have their assets and they're working on those networks. So again, I started at XRP or the XRP ledger, so I'm gonna stick with that right now for example. So if you, like a lot of people, started and got really into decentralized finance from XRPL, not necessarily Ethereum, then you learned in a different way than Ethereum, because Ethereum went straight into liquidity pools. Ethereum would be more like Algorand, right? Except Algorand is way cheaper. So it's kind of like that, where with XRPL you have the order books, right? You have the built-in DEX. There's literally a built-in order book, right? Like it looks just like a centralized exchange. And then on Algorand you have liquidity pools. So that's the biggest difference. This is where you swap, and this is where you trade. This one is more chart dependent, like you can see the candles and all that other stuff. And with the liquidity pool, you can still see the candles, but you are definitely adding liquidity. Like there's liquidity to be calculated in that aspect. So when you are looking for a decentralized community, just keep that in mind, that they essentially master the networks that they're going into, right? Because there's like, check out STX, check out Reaper, check out Ascension, and check out Arc. These 3, 4 are all part of why everything I'm talking about is going to be working, especially on the XRP ledger and the XRP Xoge asset. So with that said, let me erase this one more time. It might be a couple more times. I'm not really too sure. I really am just hoping to get all this out there for you. So you got, here's a brief little history because I got to write it down anyway. So you have XRP, Algo, XLM. Now these are all networks that Xoge has been on and are going to, and then I'll get more into that as to why this is a multi-chain. Well, so this is multi-chain just right here, right? Just from XRP to Algo, that's a multi-chain, and then so everything after that is just adding to that multi-chain. And then you have Hbar, and when in the process of cloning Hbar, Classy went into XDC and Binance Smart Chain. And then now we are headed, we still have some more ahead of us. We're going to go to Iota. So this is where we're at right here. If you don't have any Xoge, this is what you can still get just by buying into the ones up here. So you got Iota, Cardano, FTX, or FTM, Fantom. It's Fantom, not FTX, Fantom. What am I missing? Matic, potentially, Cspr, once that's all ready, and Avalanche, Avax, right? So these are all, like Xoge is here, and it's going here, right? So it started here. This is literally the order it went in. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So right now it's on 6 chains, about to be on 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 10 to 12, because it's not fully set in stone. Oh, and also Core. Core is in there too. All right, and possibly Flare. Like it's still up for debate. He's still trying to figure out if he wants to go there or not. But I digress. This is a multi-chain, right? Shoot, this is a multiverse. I mean, this is each network is its own dimension. If you think about it, they all have their own utility. They all have their own target audience. They all have their own piece to the future of crypto and the world that we are going into, this decentralized world. And when you're crypto arbitraging, so this is the parent level, right? Maybe this is where we should have started, but I had to get here. So this is the parent level. And then over here is the child level, but each one is completely different, right? So like you got, within each one you have an entire asset portfolio, really, that you could be building, like literally through each one. And so when you look at it like that, each level, each layer, you have so much research to do, like a lot of research, because you have to figure out how to get your asset. Well, you have to figure out what wallet, where are you going to store Binance, where are you going to store Iota, Cardano, Matic, Cspr, Avalanche, Hbar, XDC, XLM, Algo, XRP, where are you going to store them in order for you to own your keys, right? You got to figure that out. That's the first thing you got to figure out. After figuring out how to buy them, like which centralized exchange are you buying them from, right? Where are you buying them? Where are you storing them? And then when you store them, are you able to use them decentrally, right? And then once you do that, and when I mean use them, I'm saying can you trade or swap, right? And then can you trade or swap not just into a stable coin, but can you trade and swap into a child asset, right? A child token. And then from there, can you possibly add liquidity into a liquidity pool, or can you stake them? Running into some problems right there. Can you stake them? Or are you able to, work with them? Or can you work with them aside from liquidity pools or staking, or can you add NFTs? 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 Can you add NF Can you connect your wallet to a website? You know, is it Web3 compatible? These are questions that you need to figure out, which all go back to the wallet, which all go back to the network that you're on, and all the way down to why did you buy XRP in the first place, right? And then in order to do this, you have to do that's a lot of research. That's hours, tens of hours easily on every single network. Which company does it? Which project does it? You know, how are their founders? Is it a rug pull? Are you going to get your return back on your investment? Because that's essentially what you want. Are you going to be able to grow your investment? What are you doing? Right? And so with multi-chain arbitrage, you have to go from, you're going any one of these, take any one of these lines, any one of these networks. How do you go from Algorand to the Algorand network to the XRP ledger, right? How do you go from Hedera Hashgraph to Stellar Lumens? How do you go from Binance Smart Chain to Iota? How do you do it? These are the things that are involved with multi-chain arbitrage. And so what you have to do is you have to go from, say you go from Iota into a centralized exchange and then into Cardano, right? And then from Cardano, you send that to your Cardano wallet, and then boom, you're plugged in and you're able to use the decentralized network on Cardano. Now, multi-chain, let me erase this. I don't want to erase the whole thing, but let me just erase this part. So that is literally the whole point, right? So if XRP is up and Xoge on XRP is up, then chances are you might want to, you might want to take profit. Take profit, and then you put it into, say XLM is down, and Xoge XLM is down. Well, that's then you would reallocate into that, right? Because if this is up and you take profit, as this works its way down, then you are protecting your profit by moving it into XLM when it's down and Xoge when it's down, because then when those turn around and come up, then you're just leveraging your profit, essentially. And that is multi-chain arbitrage. And by having the opportunity to invest in Xoge, you save so much time in trying to figure out which projects to invest in safely that will give you a return on your investment. Because you already know that Xoge has been vetted on, let me change the color right here so you can see it. You already know that Xoge, the asset, right? You got the asset, you got the founder, you got the community, you have the know-how, right? Because the community is laying, so Classy lays the foundation, and then the community, like myself, is working with it and then trying to share it with others and show people the way, right? So like if you're learning from me, I'm going to be teaching you about Xoge and all of the assets that Xoge touch, because I'm learning it, I'm documenting it, I'm trying to help everybody else, so you guys can get it, so we can make it happen. This is absolutely a community promoted thing. That's how I look at it. If you want to win, you better learn how to do it, and also better learn how to share it, because Xoge is everywhere. It's everywhere where you want to be, like decentrally. Not your keys, not your crypto. Oh well, hey, these are your keys, so it's your crypto. This is one of the safest investments, Xoge, right here. And all the work is done for you. You just got to learn how to do it, because they started at XRP and proved themselves, went to Algo, proved themselves, went to XLM, further proved themselves, went to Hbar, really proved themselves, and then Hbar is kind of, that's a whole nother story. We'll get into that later. Went to XDC, and then they're at Binance Smart Chain, and then now they're working on going to all of these right here. Like, this is massive. it's everywhere. Literally, it is everywhere. Everywhere that the future is going to be, Xoge is already there. And by adopting Xoge, learning how to use Xoge, you are inherently learning how to use the entire decentralized realm. This way, when other assets come to light, you already know how to get them, and furthermore, you're already in position. You don't have to go through the hours that it takes to learn how to get your assets to that network, to make those trades, to do whatever. Like, you're already there. And not only are you there, you already have Xoge and the parent asset to make the swaps necessary to acquire the asset that you're trying to acquire. So you might not even have to add back into your entire crypto portfolio. You just move it around in multi-chain arbitrage. That's how you do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all have a mighty and powerful day.